Welcome back to Central Valley Talk, where we talk about things going on in Fresno and cool things to do and events and services. But every once in a while, we like to carve out some time to talk to people who are going to shape the future of Fresno. To that end, we've invited Jared Gordon, running for city council. By the way, we invite all candidates. We sent you messages, but you know what? Jared called us back, so he's on the show. We appreciate that. Is that the kind of councilman you're going to be, returning calls?
That is the kind of council member that I intend to be. I fully intend to respond to every constituent request for help within one business day. Oh, I can't always solve every problem in one business day, but we can at least get back to you.
You can get started. Now, tell us what district you're running for and where it is.
So I'm running for Fresno City Council in District 2. That's Northwest Fresno. It's everything north of Shaw, west of Blackstone, not counting all the many county islands. Okay. So if you live north of Shaw and west of Blackstone and you're in the city of Fresno, I encourage you to vote for me August 13th.
Historically, who's been the councilman out there?
So Steve Brandow was the prior city council member. He recently got elected to the Board of Supervisors. That caused a special election. Again, it's August 13th, and that's why I'm running, because there's that available seat. But it's not the reason I chose to run. I've been thinking about running for city council for a number of years because I've long been active in the community, been a part of the Fresno Chamber, and I was on the City of Fresno's Charter Review Committee, which was sort of like the constitutional convention for the city several years ago. And I just was looking for a way to give back even more than I already have. And I thought this was the right way to do it.
Let's start on some of your background, because you seem like a pretty bright guy. Did you go to school around here? Did you go to college?
I did. So I graduated from Edison High School after going through Manchester and Computech, and then went to college at Claremont McKenna College in Southern California. I also went to law school at UCLA, came back here to practice law, and that's what I'm doing today. I currently work for McCormick Barstow as an attorney for small and mid-sized businesses.
Very good, very good. And do you have a family?
I do. I have two beautiful girls, Mari 9, Isla 7, and my wife, Dr. Yvette Segura, who is a child psychologist.
Wow. So you're both pretty educated, both pretty involved in your community and your family. Good job. Good job. Now, and that's the kind of person we're looking for to represent us, somebody kind of like us, wife, kids, mortgage, the whole thing, right?
Yeah, someone who understands what normal people are going through. And my job is to help people who want to start businesses, who have businesses, and make their businesses work so that they're successful. I want to take that same approach to helping businesses deal with government and deal with the challenges that they face in our legal world to the city council, so that we can help make Fresno a little more business friendly and a little more family friendly.
And do you have any philosophy on how the city ought to be run, or the duties of the city, or what the city should be responsible for?
Well, I certainly believe that the city should be fiscally responsible. There was a recent question as to whether the city of Fresno should adopt a budget that the mayor viewed as out of balance. The city of Fresno is constitutionally obligated by its charter to adopt a balanced budget. I believe in balanced budgets. I think that we should be fiscally prudent, careful with the money that the people of Fresno entrust us with as city council members. And if I'm elected, that's what I intend to do.
Balanced budget. I mean, do you balance your budget at home? I would imagine.
We do. But we also save, and I think it's important that the city of Fresno saves money in the reserves and pays down debt. The city of Fresno has lots of debt in the form of different bonds. We are lucky to have a relatively well-funded pension system for the city of Fresno, but that's something we also have to make sure that we take care of. That's like the retirement account that people have at home. It's a retirement for our police and our firefighters.
Now, the city collects taxes from us, I think, from property taxes, maybe sales taxes, and so that money's going to be collected no matter what. So how should that money be spent? What are the priorities?
Well, the first priority of the city of Fresno should always be public safety, taking care of crime by having an effective police force, preventing fires and dealing with medical emergencies with our firefighters. But more specifically, I do have some ideas about fighting crime in particular that I'd like to share.
Yeah.
So first, the first priority that I have for any new money that we have to spend beyond what's currently being considered in the city's budget is that we need to spend more money fixing our emergency dispatch system. So the weak link that people don't realize about public safety in Fresno is that we have an antiquated 20-year-old software system that runs our 911 calls. So if you can't call 911, you can't get the police and you can't get the firefighters out to help you.
I'm just thinking of the technological advances in the last 20 years.
That's
When
right.
you say antiquated, it really must be antiquated.
It's the software is incredibly antiquated. I have heard from inside sources that the machines often go down, that there are literally hours at a time where no one can call 911 effectively. That should not happen. We exist in a world where e-commerce websites, like some of my clients, are up virtually all of the time, 24/7, 365 days a year.
They don't go down.
They don't go down. And a system as critical as 911 should also be in a circumstance where it does not go down. That is not the world we live in today in Fresno. And part of it is that we need to adopt a modern software system that matches up with what everyone else in the county is using, the sheriff and city of Clovis, et cetera. And we need to build or buy more infrastructure. So we need to have better hardware. We need to upgrade the communication systems in the police cars. That will make our public safety officers more effective.
Now, if I go out in the public and ask what's the biggest problem going on in the city, a lot of people say homelessness. Is there a solution for that?
Homelessness is a difficult problem because it's really a number of different problems. I won't tell you that I have all of the solutions, but I will tell you that I think I have a solution that will at least improve homelessness in Fresno. So first, I'm a strong supporter of the no camping ordinance that Councilmember Brandow previously passed, and the anti-panhandling signs ordinance that Councilmember Bredefeld tried to pass. And I look forward to passing that at the very first meeting that I'm elected. But I think we need to do more. And talking to homeless advocates, talking, in fact, to homeless people in the district, I've come to realize that one of the principal problems that we have as a city is that we have all of our services for the homeless people largely concentrated in downtown Fresno. But homeless people aren't concentrated in downtown Fresno anymore. In fact, now they're all over the city. And so we need to spread our services out all over the city. We need to have shelters for the homeless and shelters for people who are victims of domestic violence and human trafficking spread throughout the city. They need to be low barrier, available to people with dogs, people with kids, people who can come as they are, and as long as they're not using illegal drug or otherwise committing crimes while they're there, and you know, we can have police officers there to make sure they don't, and social services to connect them with, then I think these will be effective solutions. For the people who are concerned about having a homeless shelter somewhere in their neck of the woods, the homeless are already in your neck of the woods. So the solution is really not a question of, do we have homeless shelters spread throughout the city? It's a question of, do we have homeless spread throughout the city? The answer to that is clearly yes. So it's better to have them go somewhere safe, effective, and controlled.
Well, I'm in the tower. I don't know what the homeless people are like in North Fresno. I don't get up there that much, but our homeless people don't want a home. I mean, it's not like a woman with kids who couldn't pay her rent and she's on the streets. It's just a lot of people who they just don't want a home. So, and they want to camp in my front yard.
Right. So some people who are economically homeless or victims of violent crime, they do want homes, and we can help them, and we already really generally know how to do it. We just need to connect them to services better. But for the people who are mentally ill, substance abusers, long-term homeless, chronically homeless, it is a more difficult challenge. And that's why I think that some of the solutions that we've tried so far are maybe not as effective as having some shelter space that's available to them and distributed throughout the neighborhoods.
Okay. Very good. So now there's been a talk of a senior center. What's going on with that?
So the city of Fresno has set aside $1 million each of the last two budgets to build a senior center, but it's not nearly enough. We need to allocate probably in excess of $6 million somehow to fund a senior center. Now, the reason we need a senior center is that Fresno is one of the biggest cities in the entire country without a senior center. The city of Clovis has a beautiful, effective senior center with classes for seniors. It has opportunities for seniors to socialize with each other. It has hot meals. It has a lot of the things that seniors, especially seniors who don't have family members in the immediate area, really need to live happy, productive, effective lives. And I think it's far past time, frankly, for Fresno to have a senior center of its own.
Very good. And other big issues you want to talk about before we're out of time?
So one of the other things that people in the district are often concerned about are streets and street maintenance. I think that's a problem that many people in Fresno face. That's certainly something that we need to prioritize, and I especially intend to focus on trying to fix the bottlenecks at Shaw and Polk and Herndon and 99, as well as seeing if we could do something about some of the bottlenecks around Nees and Audubon in the northeastern part of District 2.
Certain times of day, those spots come to a standstill.
Absolutely. Sometimes Sean Polk has 45-minute waits to get through the light.
Oh my gosh.
That's unacceptable. We are not Los Angeles. We should not live in the traffic like Los Angeles. Frankly, I left Los Angeles because of how horrible its traffic was. I don't think anyone in Fresno should have to live through that. We can fix it. The problem is readily fixable by adding more traffic lanes and improving the traffic signal. So that's something that we desperately need to do. We're already scheduled to do some work on it, but I think more needs to be done if we're going to have the build out of houses west of 99 that we currently expect.
Yeah, I don't like the little fixes because after a year, it's not a fix anymore.
Yeah, you can't just add one lane, one direction. You need to really plan for a long-term solution based on the total amount of housing that we expect west of 99.
Now, when's the election?
The election is August 13th.
Okay.
And, most people can vote by mail if they request a permanent absentee ballot or a temporary absentee ballot. But this is the last election that will have neighborhood polling places in Fresno County.
Is that right?
Yes. So starting in March, we're going to the new voter choice model where there'll be a handful of centers scattered throughout the county to help people mostly with disabilities or who have difficulty voting. Everyone else will vote by mail. This is the last chance for most people to vote in polling places, and that's especially true in Northwest Fresno, where we probably won't have any physical voting center.
Well, I've always enjoyed going in and voting, but the littlest hitch in my day, and I don't make it there. So that's why order that ballot and vote in advance. And I never miss an election that way. Now, what if somebody's watching and say, well, that's a cool guy. He's got good ideas. How do I get involved? Is there a way people could get involved in your campaign?
Yes, thanks for asking. You can go to GordonForFresno.com. That's Gordon, Gordon,
logo
FORFRESNO.com. Thank you.
Yeah, look at that. GordonForFresno.com, and they can sign up to volunteer.
They can sign up to volunteer. They can donate. They can learn more about some of my positions and ideas. You can also find me on Facebook, Jared Gordon for Fresno City Council.
So now you're printing up flyers, you're doing mailers, you're ordering these signs. It's expensive to run. So
it's
nice if people could send in a little something to help.
Absolutely. Anything from $1 to $4,700, which is the maximum contribution allowed. All of it is helpful, and I certainly will not say no, and I will say thank you for every donation that I get.
Very good. Last thoughts from Jared Gordon running for City Council?
Please vote August 13th, and I hope that you will vote for me. Jared Gordon, Fresno City Council District 2.
We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.